Wolong Fallen Dynasty recently released, and I had the honors to play and review it on stream. And in this video I'm going to be talking about what I think about this game and if it's a worthy purchase or not. I'll be covering the 5 main review points of this game: gameplay, art style, sound and music design, story, and last but not least, performance and miscellaneous. I'll also be talking about things that I did not like about Wolong, as well as how the devs can fix it. Now, of course, there will be spoilers in this video, both as gameplay and whenever I talk about the story. But, without further ado, let us begin. The gameplay feels great. Deflecting these massive and rapid attacks makes you really feel like a god. The combat is very easy to pick up on, but it gets harder when you really want to master the game and push it to its limits. My only issue with the deflect system, on the other hand, is there is no directional deflecting, meaning that you need to actually deflect in the opposite direction of where the attack is coming from. Let's say that the attacker is attacking from right to left, then you need to dodge in towards the attack instead of just dodging on the spot. I feel like the deflect is a bit too forgiving in this game. But my biggest gripes, if anything, about the gameplay itself is the morale system. I feel like the morale system is just a stat check and more or less ruined some areas and encounters for me. Because some of the areas felt very easy and some of the others felt really hard to do. And like the morale mechanic by itself is a good concept, but it's flawed in practicality. The martial arts in the game were really cool and unique, but only a very few select of them were useful due to them being easy to combo with or being very useful at evasion and evading attacks. The rest of the martial arts I think were really underwhelming and could have been better. The same goes for the weapons. I think that most weapon types were really underwhelming, particularly weapons where you two-handed them, such as spears, hammers, halberds, and axes. Weapons like swords, sabers, and dual-wield weapons were really strong and fun on the other hand. Now, the post-endgame for this game is very weird. If you're familiar with Neo, you may know of the Twilight Eclipse missions. That's essentially what Wolong endgame is, where you basically replay the same mission over again with the same enemies and bosses being stronger than normal. You also unlock 5-star gear, but I honestly don't think it's worth it. Other than that, you got a lot of side quests to do and also a PvP invasion system in the game. Though the online functionality for the game, from my experiences playing online and against people online, is below average. Now, I didn't go so far into the endgame, so there may be more than just the 5-star gear, and there may be even more stuff later on the more you play. The art style is phenomenal in this game. I love the direction they went with it. The demons look amazing with their red intimidating auras, the world looks mysterious and cool, and don't get me started on some of the bosses. Some of the bosses, especially later on in the game, look amazing. I won't spoil any of them in case you guys decide to play the game, but let me tell you that they look insane. The enemies in the game, while few, do have some really cool designs. My favorite ones of them all in design being the chickens or the big birds, the tigers, and the dual glaive wielding ogres. I think the sound design is a bit hit and miss. Some sounds are amazing, while others are really weird. But the music I think is pretty amazing. So many orchestral and Chinese sounding songs is a very nice change of pace, and I think they sound awesome. But some of the songs in the game do not fit at all with their context. For example, in the mission, the Battle of the Hulao Guan Pass, the music is very intense outside of combat, or very calm during combat. This makes the pacing feel really weird in this level, and personally ruins the immersion. Now, I'm gonna talk about the story from now on for a little bit, so skip to this time if you don't want to know about the story. The story, I think, is the biggest miss of the game. It's essentially about you trying to stop this Taoist from creating this ultimate elixir in order to achieve immortality and full control of the world. You do this by gathering as many forces and spirit animal jades from different people. In order to use it against the Taoist, you end up beating the Taoist at the very end by using the power of friendship and obtaining your spirit animal and jade back. I think Tecmo and Team Ninja did try with the story, but ultimately failed in a lot of places. Though the jades and the concept of the jades are really cool, I think. Last but not least, performance and miscellaneous. The performance with the game was way below average. I personally didn't experience much lag and hiccups, but I know people who did, and oh boy did it lag for them. The game chunks as hard as Wild Hearts for them, if not worse, and the graphic settings did not help much at all. Whenever you change settings and you either closed the game or crashed, you would have all your settings reset again. Some settings even completely ruined the game, like ambient occlusion making everything turn into disco lights and sporadically flash, especially in cutscenes. Uncapping your framerate also completely messes up your game by completely changing the game speed and also making the game prone to more lag and crashes. One final thing I want to mention is there are so many technical things with the gameplay that should have been explained, but didn't, which would have changed the game for the better. Such as a specific item used for desummoning your companions should have been told about when you first got it, or better yet, be the item that actually summons your companion, and not have them run around in the first place. There are a lot of issues and imbalances with the companion system, which honestly makes them feel very flawed, and I hope Tecmo can fix these issues in the future. So, what do I rate Wolong? I'd personally give it a 75 out of 100. It is fun, but a lot of things bring it down. Would I recommend this game at full price? Not really. I would personally suggest you guys either wait for a sale of around 40 to 50% or just straight up play the game on Game Pass. So that wraps up for this review. Now this is a video type I don't do very much often, and I'm not really experienced in video styles like this. So I wanna ask you guys, what did you guys think about this video? Tell me in the comments. Did I miss anything? Did I actually do a good job? What should I think about next time whenever I make a review? And I would love for you guys to interact with the video, subscribe if you're new. But that's about it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.